So there's a lot of cool stuff you can do once we have access to that actual raw data and index those meta protocols. It's a little lower on the priority list compared to a lot of other things we're working on, getting HBitVM working, decentralizing the sequencer, stuff of that nature. But that is one of the future down the road roadmap items is to add that meta protocol indexer support. As for how those apps would be tunneled, or those meta protocol assets would be tunneled, it depends on the type of asset. So basically, you can divide the meta protocol assets into fungible and non-fungible. So your fungibles are, your BRC20 is basically the equivalent of an ERC20 token, where each token is the same. They're divisible down to their decimalization. And then you have the non-fungibles like ordinals, NFTs, which are one-of-one special NFTs. And so the way that you have to manage custodianship, collateralization is different. So for a fungible asset, assuming you have some sort of price feed that you can rely on, you can collateralize those in the same way the current Bitcoin tunnel system works. And so once we add meta protocol indexing support to HBM, we'll be updating the current tunnel vault system to support depositing fungible BRC20s, runes, and being able to use just traditional collateralization methods. With ordinals, since they're one-of-one, it's harder, and those need to be basically valued by the user doing the deposit, almost like buying insurance. So it'd be, you deposit a ordinals NFT into a vault. There's a vault custodian who controls custodianship with that ordinals NFT, and then you're buying insurance from them that if they were to steal the NFT, you would get that insurance payout. So you can think of non-fungibles as more of like an insurance system, and then you can think of fungibles as just using the existing approach. For BitVM, once we have BitVM active, it will, and we have meta protocol support as well, you would theoretically be able to bridge any fungible meta protocol assets using BitVM custodianship. The complexity there is the value of BRC20s and the amounts that people would be bringing over are likely relatively small. And so they may not be large enough to justify the overhead costs of a BitVM vault construction. And also it's a little bit trickier to build a liquidity wrapper around meta protocols, although it's definitely possible. So more than likely, the actual Bitcoin assets themselves, those will all be done by BitVM vaults. And then maybe a few large BRC20s where there's a lot of demand, those would be deposited through BitVM vaults as well. And then smaller amounts of fungible assets and non-fungibles would use the traditional collateralized custodianship system.